Hey guys, I'm here today to do a very exciting video, and that's going to be a book review for The Last of the Firedrakes by Farah Oomerbhoy. I'm sorry, I hope I'm saying that right, because sometimes I'm just like, can't speak at the moment, just with any author's name, I cannot speak. So I received this book for free from BookTubeTours in exchange for promotion, and the BookTube tour person is LovingDemBooks. But it's very exciting. This is the first book I've ever really gotten for free to actually promote and talk about and try and get people to read, so I'm like, very excited. But it's really cool. In the description below, there's going to be a heap of links about where you can find this book, where you can buy it from, like there's Book Depository, Amazon, all the websites, and all Farah's links are down below. And also, there is a link to a giveaway that's going at the moment for this book, so definitely check that out. Because if you enter, you're in the possible running to win a free copy of this book, and I think you should, try and win this book. So definitely check that out in the description, and everything's down there below. And I'll also tell you guys now, this book review is not going to have any spoilers in it, because you want to go into this book not knowing too much. Like, when I went into it, I was kind of like, thought I knew what was going on, and then I actually read the book, and I was like, well, totally different from what I thought, but still cool. But definitely not going to tell you any spoilers in this video. Well, I'm going to try not to. Hopefully I don't let anything slip. But anyway, let's get into this review. This book is about a girl named Aurora, and she has been living a very mundane life. She was adopted when she was very young because her parents gave her up. But then her adoptive parents died in the last couple of years, and she's been living with her aunt that she doesn't really like. And her family's been really horrible to her, and she doesn't have any friends, and school's just been very difficult for her. And she's just had a really tough time. And then one day she goes on to this trip with her step uncle. she like, all her family's like not really there, and she's kind of with these people, but she goes on this trip, and then she discovers that her uncle is handing her over to this really evil dude, and they go through this tapestry, and she ends up in the world of Abbeyleec, and she doesn't know what's happening. She meets a lot of different people. There's fae, there's mags, there's evil villains there, and she finds out she's the last living member of the Firedrake family, and she has to win back, her land, her throne off from her evil aunt who like killed everyone. Like, it's a very, girl stumbles into a world and she doesn't know what's going on, and then she finds out that she's got to like save everyone, and everything's going down. And it's a lot of growth and stuff for Aurora, having developed everything, and she finds out that she actually does have powers, and she is magical, and she's got a lot that she's got to discover and how to do, and to figure out how she's going to fight this evil. And it's just a very good, getting in there and killing everyone's story. That is the basic premise for this book. I probably said it really weird. I have the hardest time just describing what a book is about, because I'm just like, and then But anyway, that's pretty much what you got to know going into the book about everything. But anyway, so now we can get into like some of my opinions of what happens in this book, and a lot of things that I liked and a few things that I did dislike, but let's go. So what I gotta say is, my absolute favorite thing about this book was like the world building and all the like magic system and the characters. Like, I just thought it was such a like a uniquely built world. Like, even though there's so many high fantasy series that have these worlds, I really just liked it, how there's so many different kingdoms and so much going on, and I'm just like, like, there's different laws for everything. Like, everything is run in a different way than like it is on Earth, and it's so many rules that like Aurora has to discover and learn how to figure out, and she has to learn the etiquette and the way that you have to be with the fae, but then you have to be different with the mags, and it's just like such like, just the development of this world is so good. And like, what I really love too is it has a map, because when you get those high fantasy books that don't give you a map and you're so confused about freaking everything, but like this map is so big. Like, this whole entire world is being created for this story, and there's so much going on, and I just really like it. And it's always like, I always look at the map and I'm just like, oh, there's where that person's castle, and oh, that's the land they go to, and that's where that school is, and so many things. Like, seriously, bookish maps for the win. They work so well in books, and I'm so glad this book had one. But I just and like, seriously, the magic system was so awesome, how there's different ways. Like, for the fae, they have the 5 elemental powers, which is earth, fire, water, air, and spirit, and normally only like the fae, because the magic's kind of like dwindled out, they only normally have one of those elements, and spirit's the rarest one, and sometimes there can be people with 2, and I'm just like, that's so hecka cool. And then like with the mags, it's very unique to each person. I feel like they can all do stuff like healing, but there's always different strands of it that go around, and I just really liked how like just complex this magic system was, even though it was a bit hard to like understand it sometimes, because I feel like it could have been like developed a lot more though. Like, I've really had more in-depth explanation, because I would have been there for that. I would have read it, I would have enjoyed it, and then I would have been in the whole book like, yeah, that's that magic, and that's going on, and that's what's happening here, and I was just like, love it. Now, I have to talk about my biggest disappointment though with this book though, is that Aurora was such a horrible character and I hated her. I know that's probably really bad that I hate her. Like, I don't hate her. That's a very strong word. I strongly dislike her. I mean, she just didn't grow on me at all, and she just pissed me off so much because, one, she contradicts herself the whole book. Like, it's just, I don't get it how characters can be like legit one sentence they're like, they have this strong belief of one thing, and then the next minute it's totally being contradicted and they're thinking something else, and it's like, I don't get it. Like, I was always just like, oh yeah, I had such a horrible time at school and everyone hated me, and then she'd be like, yeah, but I really did love school, I want to be there, and I'm just like, and she contradicts herself with the magic too, because she's all like, I don't want to be strong, and the next minute she's like, I'm going to be the fiercest person ever, and I'm just like, oh, please stop. And another thing I had an issue with the contradictions too, but Aurora has this really strong wanting to have everyone see her as being this adult, and she is 16, so she's nearly there, but I just don't understand that she wants to be seen as an adult, and she keeps talking. This is the one point she's always saying, she wants to be seen as mature, adult, having her own opinions, but then she makes such childish, immature decisions, and then she's all like, and then I want to be a child, and now I want to be frolicking in the trees and around, but I'm just like, no. And just saying, there is a really immature decision she makes at the sort of the end of the book, and it kind of, you know, ruins everything. And I mean, I understand why it happened, because like it gets the plot flowing in the direction that it should be going, but I was just like, oh, you've been told so many times not to do this and you did it, you ruined it. But I just didn't connect with her at all. Like, it's the one real big disappointment I have with this book, is just her. If she wasn't in it, I would like this book a whole lot more. But seriously though, let me tell you, my favourite character in this book is Rafe. I love him so much, and I just can't. I can't. He is my favourite. He is like so cool. He has such a cool magic. He's Mag, and I really like him. He's just, oh, my favourite. I love him. My new bae. He's an outlaw, which I think is really, really cool. Like, he's always there trying to, like, he's the Robin Hood of this book, man. Seriously, he's always helping people that are disadvantaged. Like, he's always there to help Aurora, and then he disappears, and there's like this real mystery about him, and I'm just like, who are you? And just saying, I saw it coming, because like there's this thing, you know, when it's like, oh, he's not who he says he is and he's someone else, and I'm just like, saw it. But I definitely think he's a very complex character. Like, when you first see him, you just see this outlaw that's kind of fighting, but I just feel like there's so much more to him, and I want to see it more developed in the next book, because it's only the first book, so you don't really get this character like arc yet. It's kind of like, he's about here, but I want to be like, I need more, but I definitely love him. He like such a strong way of helping people, and I really do enjoy that, and he's just so interesting, and just like his relationship with Aurora too, like how it develops, but it's not even like, that's what I hate about first books and then having to wait for the next one, is it starts, the romantic relationship starts, but it's not done, it's not finished. I need more, and it's not going to happen until probably like book 3 where I'm dying. And there's complications with that too. There's always complications with damn romances, and it's killing me. I also really like Kale. He was such a cute, adorable, like, cinnamon roll, total cinnamon roll. I really loved him in this series. He's a great comedic relief in the book, because, you know, he turns up in like the first bit and everything's all like, oh, I'm stuck in this world, I don't know what's happening, and then he's just like, yo. But I definitely like him. He actually reminds me a lot of Kenji from the Shadow series, which I really, you know, I love Kenji. So he's such a fun character, and he's like real best friend material, and I feel like he's going to be a really great character following more into the series, so I'm very excited about that too. And I also did really like the plot and stuff. Like, there's a few things that happened where I was a bit like, it's a bit cliche. Like, there was a few tropes. Like, it was a bit tropey, this book, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, a lot of people say tropes are bad, but it's not always, because when people have tropes and they change them just that little bit, it makes it sort of more unique, and I feel like that's what happened with this book. But then it was tropey, but like, not, I wasn't, you know, I wasn't against that or anything, but I really did enjoy like where the plot went. Like, it goes a bit slow sometimes, and I was a bit like, and then it really sped up near the end, and everything's happening, and I'm ready, and like there's so many things reeled at the end, and I'm just like, yes, it's happening. But I did really enjoy this book. It's just I didn't like the main character, and that's my big issue with this book. But I did give it 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I'm going to stand by that rating. But I am excited to continue on with the series and to know more. And just saying, you know, if you do want to check out this book, you should, because this is just, you know, how I feel about it. And I mean, there's probably other readers who love the main character and might not like Rafe. Like, we're all allowed to have our own opinions, and I don't want, like, me saying something bad about this book stop you from wanting to go on the giveaway or go reading the book. So I definitely think that you guys should check this book out. It was a fun read, and it was like a really good, like, the fantasy elements were really good in this, and I did really enjoy that in this book. And I'm just really happy that I was chosen to be one of the tour hosts for this, even though I'm hecka late, and I'm really sorry, and my review is coming out now and I'm really trying. But anyway guys, thanks for watching this book review. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye!